Welcome to the all-new Lick from Microzine in Islington. I'm looking for some knickknacks for my office, you see. Now, if you missed last week's show, you are not happening. Simple. This show's all about urban-tainment, a bit of sport, bit of news, bit of gossip, most of all, music. But this is what we got for you this week. These are all vintage trainers, special sort of one-offs, worth a couple of £100. Apparently, there's a pair here, 1956, not the year they were made, how many were made, which makes them worth a lot of money. And these, £2,000 each, Chanel specials. Anyway, let's get cracking with this week's news. Listen to how I can change the sound of my voice, everybody, just by leaning back into this fantastic chair. It's like dome-like. If I move around, it sounds like I'm farting. It's incredible. Anyway, letter of the week, a.k.a. speaker box. This comes from Atif Chowdhury, and he's given us a whole list of his favourite singers. Now, he says, I've listed what I consider to be the top 10 male artists in R&B today. I haven't bothered doing a list for women. Let's face it, the majority of female R&B artists sound exactly the same. Can we get a groan or something? That's outrageous. Do you agree? Apart from Angie Stone, Beyonce, Knowles or Mary J. Blige, he says. A lot of them do. They copy those girls. But anyway, look at his list. Do you agree? I mean, R. Kelly at #1, I think goes without saying. Joe at 2 tells you the kind of guy he is. Now, ladies, you can always define a man by his top 10 male artists. Yeah, would you date this dude? Look at his list. There's no D'Angelo in there, no Music Soul Child, no Maxwell. And for you pop fans, there's not even Justin. Okay? If you have something to say, please send me a letter to Speakerbox via email, of course, mtvbase.co.uk. Is that nice? Can I go back in my chair now? Ah. What? This camera here, you know, look at the colour of it, was made especially for Kill Bill. How cool is that? How much is that? Anyway, you've heard of Dilated Peoples, right? Sure you have. Their new single features Kanye West, the man of the moment, and they've also got a record being used for the Saab advert. Watch out for them on Bass Lounge. It's what the guys had to say. What the... Hey, man. These are strange, aren't they? These are affordable trainers. Anyway, you may have heard a lot about the Urban Music Festival, the Princess Trust Urban Music Festival. First time ever in the UK an event this size is happening for 36,000 people. 2 days, 8th and 9th of Earls Court. All the information will be up on the MTV-based website. Off the top of my head, I remember Jay-Z, #1 headliner, Alicia Keys, we're talking about Lamar, Dizzy Rascal, talking about Marcus Houston, Fabulous. They're getting added every single week. We've got people like Skinny Man, Ty, Rodney P, Skits, loads of them. Black Twang, there's going to be about 30 artists. Hit the website now. All proceeds go to the Princess Trust, which helps young people get a head start in life, which is commendable, right? You know what I mean? All proceeds, although I'm not donating money, I'm donating my time, because I need to save money, obviously. Like these boots. Erica, what's the discount like in there, babe? OK, it's time for this week's album review. Now, there's a big, big album just hit the streets. Usher's new album, Confessions. I met him recently for a Trevor Meets interview, and he went there, basically. He was a little troubled. His relationship with Chili is all on record now. Apparently, a girl reckons she's pregnant for him, all this kind of stuff. He's put it down on paper, you know what I mean? And the thing about this album, it's very, very mature. If you like Yeah, and you ran out and bought that single, forget it, the rest of the album's not like this. And it's not like his last album, which was full of obvious singles. I don't really see the singles on this album that are that obvious. Burn is the next single, fair enough, it's a great song. But this album is mature. He's singing from the groin up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of soul in this album as well. I like tracks like Caught Up, which is quite up-tempo. I also love Truth Hurts. I love the next single, Burn. I also like Throwback. So many tracks I like on here. In fact, this album, for me, gets 4 1/4 licks. Can you do a quarter time? Yeah? 4 1/4 licks, right? Because there's still more to come from Usher. And finally, let's just squash this potential Justin-Usher beef, because this album proves they're not on the same level. You have just been looking at an original Andy Warhol. There are 8 of these in this place. And apparently, if you want to buy all 8, with his signature on the back, it'll cost you just £22,000. That's 2 years' work at MTV. Anyway, you may have heard, it's going to be our video of the week, I'm going to tell you now, from Beyonce. her new single, Naughty Girl. Now, there are loads of different versions on mixtapes. Same version, different rappers, guest rappers like Lil' Kim, like Redman, Joe Budden, but none of them, Columbia Records say, are the official remix. The only official remix of Naughty Girl features Little Flip. Hot news from a former #1 rapper, Chuck D from Public Enemy, who is the mouthpiece, let's face it, of angst and political angst and all that stuff with hip-hop. Everyone used to go to Chuck D for a quote. Chuck, what do you reckon? Well, Chuck reckons that Kanye West is overrated. Can you believe that? He says, look, being called a top-notch producer just for speeding up old records, I mean, come on. And then he goes on to say, his rap style's all right, but 85% of cats out there all sound the same. Chuck's got a lot to say. If you're a big hip-hop fan, for all you heads out there, check out Raw Midnight Mondays. This week's guest appearance, you didn't need to tell me that, bruv. I was just looked away. Add the drama. It's 50. 50 Cent, Midnight Monday, Raw. Do not miss it. Still to come on the lick this week. We check out Halle Berry's brand new movie, Gothica. I could do this every week, just lying down, you know that. Our video of the week from Beyonce and what went down at Bass Lounge. Okay, time for some news on gaming and from one of the greatest musicians that ever lived. And this is what I'm like, you know, a gaming table, roulette wheel, bit of vodka, your mates round, you know, cheap night in, right? Unless you're gambling, of course. If you want to go out, I always say live music's the way forward. That's why Bass Lounge exists. They've had people like Omar down there, people like Jamelia, people like Lamar, Calvin Richardson, established artists, but they also give opportunities to unsigned artists and have an open mic session. This is what went down at the most recent Bass Lounge. Now, this is a good chair, right? You can't win this chair, but what you can win, if you're a big Outkast fan, is a DVD of all of their videos. Now, we know their videos are the most innovative videos on bass, period, right? So if you are an Outkast fan, tell me which city they come from in America. Which state? Will we take state, yeah? We'll take state. Which state in America are they from? Hit the website and win yourself a DVD. What? Am I the only person at MTV who doesn't think Halle Berry's all that? I'm only joking, she's hot. Anyway, her new movie is called Gothica, and there was a scrum. There was a fight to get a ticket for the preview screening, you know. Of course, Dylan won. He says it's a hot thriller, right, Dill? Edge of the seat stuff, really, really good. And one of my favourite actors is in it as well, Robert Downey Jr. Before we show you a clip, just to let you know that Halle is supposed to become Catwoman in the next Batman movie, so we might be seeing her in a cat suit again as well. I'm really trying to work out what I want. It's all retro. See, I'm old enough to remember it first time round. Yeah, you guys like that one, didn't you? Anyway, MTV Bass is 5 years old. Only 1 year to catch up the lick, eh? Hey, guys? But to celebrate, the channel are going on tour right around the UK, taking in the whole UK, ending up with a big finale in September. Now, if you want a ticket for any of these dates, to find out if it's coming to a town near you, hit the website. For all information, bass.co.uk. All right. What? Reading the red tops. Big bit of news here, guys. Not good news. Flawless from the group Big Brothers. You know they've got the Scooby-Doo soundtrack and they're in the movie and stuff like that. Well, they were flying to LA to do some work, and he tried to smuggle some cannabis through the airport. Customs found it, sent him straight home, and the group have now booted him out of the band because they're determined to crack America. So, not good news at all. Other news, if you're a fan of magazines, the most prominent style, music and culture magazine of the 80s was The Face. Struggling recently, after 24 years, it has folded. Now, back in the day when groups like Sade emerged, they were there. Jamiroquai, all these sort of groups, they were there on a cutting edge, but recently, not as relevant. I mean, are any magazines as relevant as they used to be, really? The internet's changed all of that, really, hasn't it? But The Face did once put the lick on the front cover, yeah? Well, a picture of Missy Elliott with her tongue sticking out, and they called it The Lick, but no mention of us, of course, so we're not exactly crying here, but no, seriously, The Face, rest in peace. Next week on the show, I'll probably be standing up and walking around instead of what I'm doing now, which is sitting down. See you next week. I like it, yeah?